Hi everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Maker podcast. My name is Katie and I'm your host. This is a podcast all about knitting and crochet and generally just living a crafty life pretty much. So it's been more than a few weeks since I podcast last, and I'll go into a little bit more detail later on about things that have been happening, because obviously some things were unavoidable, couldn't be helped, and I needed to get those things sorted, which unfortunately took priority over podcasting basically. So on the last episode I mentioned about trying to podcast before the end of the 6 weeks holidays, which is normally about the beginning of September, and obviously we're now today's the 30th of September. It's the last day in September. So yeah, obviously just things haven't gone the way that I planned to, but I've managed to do lots of knitting, which helps. So I'm probably going to jump into finish things straight away. As you can see, I am wearing finally a finished object. I was so excited to get this off my needles. Well, there's a story to start with. I actually finished this the beginning of September, probably about the 7th or the 8th of September. And then I put it on to take said photo and I managed to rip. So let me take this off. So this is the Lavetta shawl by Amber O'Brien, and it's a asymmetrical triangle shawl with a nice big lace section in the end. So I put this on for the first ever time. I washed it, I blocked it, I pinned it out to the correct length, popped it on, and then the ends were like down here, which was okay, fine. I could have probably wrapped it around myself again if I'd have wanted to, and then managed to tear a great big hole in the lace. I don't know how I did it, I don't know what happened, but within about an hour of taking it off the blocking mats, and it had a massive whacking great big hole like here. And because it's mesh, it's not even like I could unpick it. I couldn't even sew it back together, because obviously with the yarn overs and the decreases and stuff to make the mesh, you'd have noticed that there was something wrong. So what I did, I came all the way back down here to where my last decrease section ended, and I basically just hacked the end off, unpicked what was left and picked up the stitches and just re-knit it. And I actually knit it. This shawl is meant to be knit in a 3.75 on a 3.75mm needle. I actually did it on a 3 mil, and I actually think the lace looks a lot better than what it did before, because it's not so, the section isn't quite so long, which obviously is better, because then I won't catch it on things and break it because I'm not knitting it again. But yeah, I actually like the length of this now. It is a beautiful shawl. It's a free pattern on Ravelry from Amber O'Brien, and yeah, it's just great big massive snuggly warm shawl. So when I last podcast, I was about here. I was about halfway through the last section, and yeah, so there you go. So I'm gonna put this back on because it's kind of nippy in my flat at the moment. But yeah, it wraps around. It's just the right length now to like tuck it in your coat and stuff, with obviously like the cooler weather coming. And yeah, I love it. It's knit on the bias, so obviously you are maintaining this top section here, you are maintaining a certain amount of numbers, But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed knitting it the twice that I did knit it, and yeah, it really enjoyed the process. Also, I'm treating myself to a new mug. I was in Asda, as I am every day, because I live directly opposite pretty much an Asda in the town where I live, and I couldn't resist. They look like, it's called the knit mug, so it looks like knit stitches, and it was £2, and I thought, why not? Because I haven't got enough paraphernalia in my life. So this is the amount of yarn that I've got left from my Lavetta shawl. This obviously was a brand new skein that I had brought. When I finished knitting it the first time, I had to go and buy a second skein because I'd run out with about that much left to go. So luckily I hadn't used much out of this skein, so I've probably used about 55 grams out of this entire skein, and I've still probably got about 25-30 odd there. This is West Yorkshire Spinners in the spearmint colourway, and it looks a lot more blue than it is. It's kind of like an aqua minty green colour. And then this one, this is 3 Irish Girls in the Smoke on the Water colourway, and I don't have a tag because I, as I've said in previous podcasts, I brought this already pre-caked, and yeah, but I love how the 3 Irish Girls, it's not just a row of black, a row of grey, a row of black. Because of how it was variegated, it's kind of, half of it is, it's kind of pulled differently, and I like the way it looks. It adds some colour to my normal bland wardrobe, shall we say, because this is pretty much what I wear constantly. I will either wear a plain t-shirt or a striped shirt, or my little red button-up shirt that I tend to wear quite often. But yeah, so Lavetta shawl by Amber O'Brien. This will be going when I actually manage to block it, because I haven't blocked it yet since I finished it. The weekend that I finished it, the temperature dropped quite significantly here in the UK, so it's been kind of, especially on a morning, it's been very cold on a morning. So this has been worn every single day so far this week, because it's too cold not to put something here. So yeah, I will block it eventually, and I will take pictures and put them on my Ravelry page. Okay, so my next thing that I finished, where is it gone? I actually finished this about 2 days or so after I'd finished my shawl, and it's just a little baby hat. So this is off of Pinterest, this pattern that I found. It is for just a simple baby hat. Ian's sister-in-law is due to have a baby like tomorrow, so I had to knit up a few things, because obviously she's going in early, and she's a high risk pregnancy and stuff, and you know, I don't want to jinx anybody, but hospitals aren't always the warmest places, so a nice little hat will always come in handy. I am going to knit up some mittens to go with my next finished object, but this was to go with, if you remember this cardigan, this is The Gift by, can't remember, The Gift cardigan by Kiddie Wink Knits over on Ravelry, and I still haven't finished this. I've still got to sew the buttons on it, but I did weave in all the ends, which is plus. And then it went with little booties. So that is one present completed, done. Just got to wrap them up and obviously sew buttons and things on. But yeah, that's one complete. I've then, none of my ends are woven in. I've got to sew buttons on and fix, just basically just sew things together. I finished another cardigan. So obviously we know that Ian's sister-in-law is having a little girl, and I didn't want to put too much pink things, so I have ends to weave in, because I finished this about 45 minutes ago. This is the Eyelet Yoke cardigan by Carol Berenice. So it is a free pattern. That's what it's meant to look like. Excuse my notes. If you will notice, excuse me, it is slightly different because obviously I didn't put the eyelet around the bottom. I thought it looked a lot nicer with just it on the top, and I changed the pattern slightly because this is a slightly thicker cardigan than the one over there. I only did 3 buttons on the top, 3 buttonholes, because obviously with little girls I like to have the bottom bit open, obviously if they've got a dress or whatever on. And this is in the 0 to 6 month size, because I'm thinking if the other one is more 0 to 3 months, so when it's Christmas time or it's a lot colder, she's got another one to fall back on. And yeah, it's fairly simple knit. I've knit this pattern before. Yeah, it's a nice little cardigan pattern. It's a free pattern. Can be a little bit confusing if you are a beginner and you've never knit a top down, even though it's got a little bit of raglan shape in here. Just before you get to the sleeves, it can be a little bit confusing with how it's worded, but it's fairly simple to work out. But yeah, I should get this finished and I shall get a little hat or something made to match. I did have one other finished object, and it was for Ian's boss, again, who also had a baby, but obviously she was due and had the baby, so he had to go and take it in. And it was pretty much this hat pattern with a stripe of this pink with a little bow on the front. So you're not missing much, to be honest. But yeah. And then that's it for knitting, really. I have got a few whips, but I've kind of been off and on with knitting lately. Even though I have done quite a lot. I did have a week or two where I just didn't fancy knitting at all. Mainly when I had this done, because I was in that much pain. Living on mashed potatoes and cheese and potato pie for a week and a bit, and tomato soup, because I couldn't eat nothing. You know, I couldn't drink hot drinks, I couldn't chew anything, because I was just in that much pain. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I do have a few whips, one of which you haven't seen yet, 2 of which you already have. And even though I have done probably a fair amount of knitting on them, it doesn't look like I've done quite a lot. So first off, let's do the one that you haven't seen. So this is living in my Nightmare Before Christmas bag. I had this off eBay. It was meant to be a makeup bag, and I use it as a project bag because I think it's awesome. A Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my favourite movies of all time. It's up there with Dirty Dancing and obviously like a few others. So yeah, I'll grab the skein. So this is in the colour where have you gone? Swaledale from Signet. It's in their Truly Woolrich colourway. So yeah, and these are, if you haven't seen this pattern has been around for ages and ages and ages. This is my vanilla latte socks. So obviously this is a micro stripe, well it's not a micro stripe, it's a striped, and I'm knitting these on 9-inch circulars because they're easier if I'm sitting there in the bus stop, they're easier than trying to fiddle about with magic loop in the middle of the bus stop. And yeah, it's all about practice, to be honest. I knit my my last pair of socks that I did. They were like a burgundy, greeny, reddy pair, and I knit these on 9-inch circulars. You can't do everything on 9-inch circulars. Obviously, like heels and stuff and toes and stuff, that it's just not possible on 9-inch circulars. But yeah, so yeah, this is the vanilla latte pattern. If you can see, it's a knit 6 purl 2 repeat. It's a 2-row pattern, so you can probably see that's better. Okay, and the pattern is by Virginia Rose Jeans. Yep. It's free on Ravelry. It's been about for a while. I do my normal 64 stitch 2x2 ribbed on the top because it's what fits me best, and then obviously you go down into this ribbing pattern, and then for a change I haven't done a fish lips kiss heel. I normally do fish lips kiss heels on all my socks because I have a low arch, but I do have a pair, my very first ever pair that I made, with a heel flap and gusset. So the pattern gives you 3 different heel options anyway included, so I thought why not, and I did a heel flap and gusset, and it was very enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed knitting it. It was something different. Am I probably going to knit it again? Probably not, because fish lips kiss is quicker, and each to their own, I suppose. But yeah, these are currently my bus knitting because they're fairly simple. It's only your setup row really that's kind of different, because obviously you're going from 2x2 to 6x2. Oh, excuse me. Oh, but yeah, I just have a few markers on here. This one is, if you can see, stop moving, that one's my tomato, and I have a watermelon, both from the Corner of Craft because I am obsessed with hand and stitch markers. She does such a fantastic job. I say it every single episode because these are the markers that I always come back to. That ones I always use on every single project, and I love them. And I have quite a growing collection now, because I can't help myself. I keep buying them. But yeah, I think I've now got 2, 4. I've got at least 5, maybe 6, more likely 6. So yeah, and then on this one's just a mermaid. On this is one that I made myself, and yeah, to stop myself from forgetting where I am in my row on my 9-inch circulars, so I have my mermaid that side, which is the beginning of my row, and then that side I just have like a little bulb one, because obviously if you can see here, this is all just stockinette. So if you aren't careful and you don't monitor how many stitches are there, you're just going to keep knitting round and round and round, because obviously you're going to look at it and it's all going to be stuck in it. So if you want to carry the pattern on down the foot and you get halfway through the pattern and then forget yourself and just keep going round and round and round knitting, it's going to look a bit odd. So as a safety measure, I just pop a marker there to mark where the bottom of your foot is, so it's the bottom of the sock. And yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying knitting them. I started these about 2.5 weeks ago, so I've done both heels because I knit my socks concurrently. So I've done both heels. I'm now on the top of the foot, so hopefully by the time next podcast's finished, next podcast's filmed, they should be finished. But yeah, they're definitely going to be sisters not twins, because the striping patterns are slightly off, but I don't mind. I am aiming to get at least another 2 or 3 pairs of socks done before the end of the year, because I am now starting to wear my hand knit socks because I'm struggling with the cold on my feet and I can't knit them quick enough. So yeah, that's another pair nearly done. These ones are in my my lovely friend Wendy. She sent me this from my FiberShare parcel, and I did film unboxing. Why am I out of focus? There we go. I did film unwrapping my FiberShare parcel and it didn't save. So unfortunately, Wendy, I am sorry. If you do manage to catch hold of this, I am sorry. I did film it and I don't know what I've done, but it just didn't save to my phone. So I have got all my yarn and stuff that I obviously got, and she kindly, very kindly, she made this for me. And it's like a very heavy cotton, and she's such a clever little thing, and I do love it. It's great, perfect size for socks, because I can smush this down and stick this in my handbag, and it doesn't take up that much room, and it fits 2 socks in it, which is awesome. So we have seen these before, these socks. I have mentioned them before on the podcast, but I don't know why, for whatever reason, I just didn't knit on them for a while, probably because I had other things to knit. And lo and behold, another of Hannah's stitch markers. So yeah, these are just another pair of socks. These are plain vanilla ones. Again, probably going to be bus stop knitting, because I'm forever waiting for buzzes, especially last week when I had to go and get 2 buzzes within like an hour and a half of leaving work to get to a course. So I took my knitting with me whilst I was waiting in the bus stop. And this is Grundle Hot Socks Uni in the colour 02, which is just their plain grey colour. And this is Drops Fable in the long print, and I can't remember what the colour is. Let's have a look. Just says blue, so that's helpful of myself, isn't it, to remind myself, just blue. But yeah, it's just like a blue and grey mix. And then obviously another of Hannah's stitch markers, and this one's a little pumpkin. So yeah, love them. This one, if you've watched Hannah's podcast before, you've probably seen these. Come on, focus. I actually sent some of these to her, these little star ones, a while ago. Why are you not focusing? There you go. But yeah, I'm probably about another 4 inches before I get to the heel, and these are going to have a fish lips kiss heel, because I loved doing a heel flap and gusset, but I can't be bothered with it, because it's so long-winded, But yeah, they're going to have a fish lips kiss heel, and I've done probably about 2.5 inches on the one and probably about 3 or 4 on the other one, because the other one was literally like this big. So yeah, that's number 2. And then this one hasn't been shown since probably episode 1, not episode 2. Episode 2. No, episode 3, probably. Yeah, episode 3. This is my flax sweater. And I haven't done, it feels like I've done a lot on it, but I haven't really. So this is in just plain old, good fashioned grey. And I want to get it finished because I want to wear it so bad because it's so cold. This is just living in a My Little Mermaid tote bag that I got from the pawn shop, because I've never got a carrier bag with me when I need one, so I end up buying loads of them. So yeah, this is my flax sweater. I was, if I can find my marker, here we go, I was here the last time I showed this. So, oh, stand up a bit. So it's looking less and less and less like a crop top, and it's more and more like a jumper. So yeah, I've probably done about a good 4.5, 5 inches on it. And yeah, I really can't wait for this to be finished because it's coming up to that time. Although I did make a new stitch marker for this one, and I posted it on my Instagram, and I am like nearly in the middle of a row. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me 1 second. So yeah, I rewatched the entirety of The Walking Dead, all eight seasons of it, and then I spotted these on where I get my charms and stuff from. It says keep calm and kill zombies. I also had, I don't know if I photographed it and put it on Instagram, little bar ones. I don't think I've got one. I don't think I have. Oh, I have. So these are the little charms that I buy, and it says The Walking Dead on them. So yeah, I just put the findings and stuff on The Walking Dead, which is awesome. And it is one of the shows up there. I do love it. And yeah, keep calm and kill zombies. That is awesome. So yeah, I'm hoping by the time our next podcast, if I can get a serious dent in this, because I really need to start wearing it because it's so cold lately. But yeah, these are the only 3 whips that I have really got left at the minute. I am trying very hard not to cast all the things on. But yeah, if I tend to leave this out, like I've got a basket next to my sofa, so I tend to leave it on top, so I'm more inclined to knit on it. But yeah, we shall see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, next episode I should have at least 3/4 of an object, let alone a finished object. But yeah, as I say, I've got loads of big things off the needles and stuff. This obviously took quite a while. Both those cardigans, even though they're only little, still take a decent amount of time, especially if you're not. I suppose they are portable, but it's easier to take a pair of socks than what it is to take a cardigan. Right, so on to stash. And I've been very good. I've only purchased it came as a bundle, so it was 5 skeins of yarn as a bundle, and then obviously I had my FiberShare parcel on top of that. So I do have quite a lot of yarn to show. Let's do my bundle that I got first. So this was, again, my favourite place was on eBay, because I can't help it. And it was a bundle of 6 balls of yarn. So first off, I got some Drops Fable. This is in the colour 400 and it's just black. So these will probably go into something. I probably won't use those for heel sews and cuffs. I then got a grey Drops Fable, which is in the colour 115. And then I got never heard of this brand before. The label's a bit ripped. Trekking XXL, and it's made in Germany. 75% superwash, 25% nylon. 100 grams is a 420 metre ball, and it's got like little, what are they called? I want to say speckles, but they're not speckles. You know what I mean? They're little like added pieces of fibre onto it. Don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I like the colour. Probably go into like a scarf or something for my sister or my brother. But yeah. And then I had a repeat, which I wasn't really planning on, but Sock Share by Coop Knits. This is a fine superwash merino wool, 75%, 25% nylon, and this is in the colour Low Light, which is a beautiful, it's like, there you go, like a denim-y blue with like undertones on. There you go. And then to go with it, which is really the one that I wanted, another Sock Share by Coop Knits, and this is in the colour 105 Danbarite. Come on, focus. There you go. Same base, same percentages and stuff. Focus. There we go. Yep. And this is a 50 gram ball. So all in all, for 6 balls of yarn, I think it was 15 quid, which is awesome sauce. It's amazing value for yarn. Excuse me. Right, onto the FiberShare. The snacks and stuff and the stuff that she brought for Harry didn't last very long. So can't show you those. Oh, come here. Obviously you've seen the bag that she made me. And then I have lots of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 skeins of yarn. Probably going to start with what's in this nice rustly bag. So first off, one of the mini skeins that I got, I have the card here, is from, oh, that side, a little bit sheepish. It's from, where's she based? Loughborough in Leicestershire. Yep. These are all Blueface Leicester superwash, 100% wool, and it's 20 grams each for these little mini skeins. There you go. That's probably about right for the colours. So it's like a cool toned, bluey toned grey. Obviously that like peacocky blue and like a foresty green colour. And they're beautiful, they're very soft. Don't know what I'm going to put them in yet, but yeah. So those are from A Little Bit Sheepish. Next up were these three. Now these are hand-dyed here in the UK. These three. Similar kind of, can you tell there's a theme going on? These are from Ovis Yarns, which is based in Liverpool in the UK. All of these don't have colours on, but I did have a quick look at the website and they're very reasonably priced for what they are. And she does everything. She does sock sets, she does Christmas, like advent calendars, all sorts. But yeah, beautiful little mini skeins. Next up was these two. Now, a lot of these are yarns that I have never used in knitting before. So next up were these, which was my Debbie Bliss Rialto lace, and this is colour 44040. Can you see? There you go. Say that 5 times fast when you're drunk. And these are 100% wool. 50 grams or 390 metres. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use these for, because this is it's not 4-ply, but it's definitely a lot thinner than I'm used to. So yeah, probably go in a shawl or something like that. Next on the agenda was, again, another thing that I have never used before. I've used the brand before. I used the brand to make that cardigan. But these are the Serdar Snuggly Baby Bamboo. Now, I've never used a yarn that's got bamboo in it. Oh, dearie me. So yeah, Baby Bamboo. This is in the colour 071, I think. But yeah, it's like a nice, like a taupey grey colour. You can see, yeah, like a taupey grey colour. 4mm knitting needle or hook, a 50 grams, 80% bamboo, put my teeth in, 80% bamboo, sourced from viscose, and 20% wool. So again, don't know what these are going to go into. Probably a shawl or something, because it's very, very soft. As in, like, I've got like an MCN skein that I brought. Probably you saw it on the last episode. Oh, it's that kind of soft. So they're probably going to go into a shawl. Yeah, let me know if you've knit with bamboo before. I certainly haven't. Saying that, I never knit with any other fibre. I never knit with a fibre before I got educated, shall we say. I used to mainly knit in acrylic. But, each to their own, right? So, I've got 2 left that she sent me, and I felt very, very, very thoroughly spoilt, because she sent me a massive, great big box full of stuff, full of notions, obviously my bag that she sent, all this yarn, and snacks and things for Harry and stuff that, you know, I felt thoroughly spoilt. So yeah, next up, again, Serdar Snuggly. This is in the Crofter Baby Fair Isle Effect 4-ply in the colour 0166. That's actually a pretty good look at the colour that it is at the moment. So obviously this is going to knit up like a Fair Isle effect. Don't know what it's going to be. It's 50 gram skein. Well, what's in it. 55% nylon, 45% acrylic. Ooh, it's alive. Don't know what I'm going to use it for again, but it's a really, really soft, beautiful skein. And finally, Big Daddy over here, she sent me one of these. So this is Serdar's take on, if you've ever seen Red Heart's Shawl in a Ball. And basically it goes round and round and round, and you get colour changes throughout depending on where you pull it from. So if you look there, those are the colours that you're going to get. I like that tealy blue there and the grey. But yeah, it's a massive, massive, great big ball. Can you see how big it is? And it comes with a Serdar colour wheel, a free wrap pattern inside. So that's what the wrap will look like if you use their pattern. You see how it's like variegated? Serdar Spinning Limited, Wakefield, England. So all of my yarn that I got from my FiberShare partner was from England, well, based in England. And this is 150 gram. Okay. Colour 0203. And yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. Again, it's lovely and soft. And it's 80% acrylic and 20% wool. 520 meters per 100 grams. So yeah, look forward to using all of these in something. Don't know what it's going to be yet. I don't know. I'm going to try and enter something into the Corner of Crafts Stash Mescal, 2018 Stash Mescal, which is running from obviously September to December. And since these all came in September, and my sock yarn that I brought previously, I actually ordered it before September. I don't know what I'm going to make though. I probably could, if I can get more mini skeins or use up all my like smaller amounts of wool. I could probably make a change here, sure, couldn't I? Really. But I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Although I don't know. It's gone. I did treat myself to one last little thing, because I'd broke the zip on my Notions pouch. So I went and purchased myself a new Notions pouch. This is just a bog standard pencil case, and it was £2 from Wilkinson's, and I love it. It's huge. I can fit all of my Notions in, plus whatever spare needles I've got lying about and whatever else, and there's still room in there. So, question, how else do you store your Notions? I have this, and I have got a Tmoy knitting needle and crochet hook holder case, doobly doodah, that I had off Amazon ages and ages ago, and they're predominantly how I store my knitting supplies. So yeah, new pencil case. I love it. The colour, as you can tell, is my favourite colour anyway. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I don't think I've got anything else to tell you. Don't think so. So yeah, I hopefully, touch wood, will get this podcast uploaded and edited tonight. I will hopefully, fingers crossed, be podcasting again in 2 weeks' time, because I say this every single episode and then something comes up and it doesn't happen. So hopefully, fingers crossed, 2 weeks' time I should be podcasting, because I want to get so much finished and I want to get new stuff cast on. I do have some obligation knits that I've got to knit. more baby stuff. Surprise there, surprise there. But I want to start getting our winter stuff knit. So obviously I'm sorted for the winter now, so I don't need to knit myself anything for winter this year, because obviously I've got 2 shawls and I knit my sockhead hat earlier this year. But Harry desperately needs a new hat, and he desperately needs a new scarf, and Ian needs a new hat. So more things that I have to knit. I need to knit more socks for my ever continuing cold feet. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope I haven't waffled on too much and you've thoroughly enjoyed the episode. I will pop links to all of the shops and stuff that I can find shops for. What was I going to say? It's gone. Yeah, I'll pop links and stuff down below to where I got things, to FiberShare, to all the important bits and pieces. Ravelry. Show notes will be going up on Ravelry, hopefully while this is uploading. Hopefully. Don't hold myself to that. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.